Thank you for joining us today. We are going to talk about considerations for using AWS Enterprise Discount Program. Just a quick show of hands, how many of us know about what the program is all about? Isn't all right? And are there any people who are actually considering to sign up for the discount program, or are you already on EDP? Who are considering? Anybody who is already on Enterprise Discount Program? All right, great. All right, so the session is sponsored by Cloudkeeper. That's the name of the offering. We provide an end-to-end FinOps service to help customers run a cost-efficient setup on AWS. Just a quick introduction about me. I have been into industry for the last 16 years, have been helping customers migrate to cloud, provide DevOps as a service, and then help them run cost-optimized setup on AWS for the last 13 years. Currently, I'm responsible for the overall strategy, P&L, and the roadmap for Cloudkeeper as a business offering. I am a certified AWS professional architect and also a FinOps certified practitioner. In the next 15 minutes, we are going to talk about what AWS Enterprise Discount Program is all about, what are the broad contours of the discount construct, how can we maximize the benefits of the EDP program, and then we'll also talk about how can Cloudkeeper's EDP Plus offering help you even make the EDP program much better for you. All right. A quick introduction about us. We are a technology services company. We have worked with organizations of all different scale and sizes. We help work with enterprises, SaaS providers, consumer tech organizations to help them run an efficient setup on AWS. We have been into business for the last 15 years, have been part of AWS Partner Network for more than 12 years now. We are a ISO 27001 and SOC 2 compliant organization. Currently, we manage AWS cost for 300 plus customers in 5 different continents. Out of those, I'm sorry, the number is a bit outdated. We have close to 30 active EDP customers with us. In total, we manage AWS spend of close to $125 million on an annual basis. And we have been working with Amazon for many years. We have delivered more than $100 million in savings to our customers so far. And we have been able to deliver an average of 20% savings on a monthly basis to all these 300 plus customers, right? There is a team of 300 plus cloud, DevOps, and FinOps professionals who work with these customers in their FinOps and cloud journey. A quick overview of our relationship with Amazon. We became a partner in 2013. We were promoted to the highest tier in 2018. Many of you would already be aware, Amazon has more than 100,000 partners across the globe, and less than 0.5% of those partners belong to the premier tier. Right? We have more than 150 plus certified people in the organization, more than 1,000 plus AWS accredited professionals. We are a globally authorized channel reseller with Amazon, and we were ranked among the top partners globally who are part of the AWS well-architected partner program. Other than FinOps, we have specialized competencies for migration, DevOps, and data analytics. And we are an audited managed service provider and part of the well-architected partner program. All right. What is AWS Enterprise Discount Program? It is basically designed to offer a discount on the total AWS billing for the customers who are ready to commit a certain spend for a certain tenure. Right? High level on eligibility is that customers should be ready to spend a minimum of $1 million on an annual basis. One thing that Amazon requires is that your commitment cannot be lower than what you're actually spending on AWS at the moment. So if you are, let's say, spending $1 million, but you are comfortable committing $600,000 on an annual basis, then EDP might not be an option for you. So you need to spend at least the same amount that you're spending today on every subsequent year. You need to commit at least 10 to 20% higher, right? Also, AWS Enterprise Support subscription is a mandatory requirement. Please note that all these are like standard prerequisites required by Amazon, and is based on our experience on those 30 plus active EDP customers that we have. However, these requirements may change depending upon your geography and the segment that you belong to. For example, startup customers in India and UK can request for a lower annual commitment, and the EDP program starts at a commitment of $500,000 per annum. Also, in very, very rare cases, Amazon considers an waiver for enterprise support subscription as well, in case the customers do not want to opt for that support. Right? So what are the key considerations? How do you ensure that you are maximizing the benefits of the EDP program? So the discounts that Amazon offers primarily depends upon two parameters. One is the annual commitment value, and second is the tenure of the EDP. So if you are committing 2 million instead of 1 million, you get a higher discount. Similarly, if you're ready to commit for next 5 years instead of 3 years, that further increases your discount. So these are primarily the two levers that decides the discounts that you're eligible for. The annual commitment that you make, please be aware that that is the net invoice amount that you receive from Amazon. So it is not the actual spend that you're doing today. Let's say you are getting a 10% discount benefit on your annual spend. So the commitment is basically the actual spend minus all the credits, discount benefits that you would have got in the EDP program. So many customers don't realize they calculate their commitments on the gross value, but you have to calculate it on the net value after applying all the discounts or benefits that you're going to get in the program. Now you can also leverage ISV purchases. There are thousands of ISV products listed on AWS Marketplace, and you can use that to offset up to 25% of your annual EDP commitment. What that means is that if you're, let's say, committing for a spend of $1 million on an annual basis, you can either spend all $1 million on consuming AWS services, or you can spend $750,000 on AWS services, and up to $250,000 can be offset through AWS Marketplace purchases. Right? Please be aware that there is no termination for convenience during the tenure of the EDP. So it's a hard commit. You are locked in for that tenure, and you are bound to make the minimum spend that you are committed. Right? If you are part of a PE firm, or you have different entities in different geographies, it would make sense probably to consolidate all those entities to make a much larger commitment and benefit and get a bit higher EDP discount benefit. Right? You also need to look at that all those entities have to be under the same seller of record for Amazon. So for example, if you have one entity in US and another entity is under Amazon Canada, you cannot consolidate both under a single EDP contract. So how do you ensure that you are ready to sign up for the EDP? First and most important thing is you need to ensure that you are already running a cost-efficient setup. You don't want to be in a situation when you have already committed $1 million and later you realize that your tech or DevOps team is saying that, hey, we are able to, it was not the most optimized setup. Now we can reduce the cost by 30%, and you don't feel good about it. We don't want that to happen. So ensure that all the optimizations have been applied, or you are at least factoring in during your EDP commitment planning. Right? Be confident that you will be able to meet those commitment numbers. In case there is a shortfall at the end of the EDP tenure, then you basically are charged back the remaining amount. So if you're committing for $3 million spent in 3 years, and you just end up spending $2.5 million, then you will be charged $500,000 as a shortfall fees at the end of the tenure. Right? Do look at some other discount programs that you can bundle to maximize your benefits. There are certain services like Amazon provides a private pricing for almost all AWS services that they offer, depending upon the volume that you're consuming. So for data transfer, you should be ready to commit a minimum of 500 terabytes of consumption on a monthly basis. For CloudFront, it has to be at least 100 terabytes on an annual basis. Similarly, for S3, it has to be at least 1 petabyte of consumption on a monthly basis. So there are different limits for each AWS service, and then you might be eligible for additional private pricing for those service-specific commitments. Similarly, there are migration acceleration programs, there are startup programs wherein Amazon provides you additional funding to move some new workloads to AWS platform, so you can bundle those benefits along with your EDP benefit, right? Most importantly, do spend a lot of time to ensuring that you're doing realistic expectation. It does not help to be conservative. It does not help to be very, very overly confident in making those commitments, right? You want to make sure that you are getting maximum discounts based on the business projections that you have, but at the same time, whatever numbers that you're coming up, we generally recommend that try to commit at least 5 to 10% lower than your actual projections, so that you have some buffer in case there are some uncertainties, any unforeseen issues. We have all been through COVID, where there was it was like unpleasant surprise. There were many businesses were shut down. So even if that is the state, we want to make sure that we have some buffer to meet our EDP commitments. Now, let's say we have already signed up for EDP. How do we ensure that we do not fall into the risk of getting into those shortfall payment fees, right? One, ensure that you're monitoring those commitments regularly. There are many cases when customers do not track it actively, and they realize it at a very late stage that they are not going to meet the commitments of that tenure. So ensure that you're regularly monitoring it, and you're taking proactive measures to offset that shortfall. At the end of the contract, again, as we said, there will be a chargeback if there is any shortfall. You basically get charged. You are doing an annual commitment, so you are not committing for $3 million in 3 years, but you will be committing for a $1 million of annual spend for the next 3 years. So let's say in the first year, if you have a shortfall, you are only spending $800,000, then you will be charged at $200,000 of fees in the 12th month. That's made available to you as a credit in the subsequent month. So assume that you will not receive any invoice for the next $200,000 that you spend in year 2. So it's not literally a penalty, but it's more like a cash flow impact on your business. But if at the end of the tenure there is a shortfall, then there is no course of action. So you have to ensure that you do that spend before the complete EDP tenure is taken care of. What are the different options? One common thing that customers look at is that, let's say it's a 3-year commit. In the 34th or 35th month, you can do an all upfront purchase for all your EC2, RDS, Elasticache, Redshift, or OpenSearch, RI or saving plan purchases, and then use that commitments for the next 3 years. But that upfront payment is one mechanism to offset your shortfall. You would have already looked at all the SaaS solutions purchases that can be routed through AWS Marketplace, but at times you might also want to evaluate alternate solutions which are available on Marketplace for anything that you're doing for your AWS monitoring, any other tool that you're using, for project management, which have, if those are not being bought through AWS Marketplace, then you might look at alternate solutions which can be purchased through AWS Marketplace. Also, AWS Marketplace also allows professional services listings. So if you have outsourced any of your DevOps, managed services, or development work to some partner, do check if they can raise the invoices through AWS Marketplace to you. That will again help you offset those commitments, right? Even after doing all this, if you feel that you are eventually gonna hit a shortfall, you might want to proactively talk to your AWS account manager and your EDP partner, appraise them of the situation, and try to figure out what are the possible scenarios to avoid that shortfall. One common thing that we have seen is early renewal, wherein, let's say, you're not able to meet an obligation of $3 million for 3 years. So at the end of 2 years, you do a renewed contract where you're saying, I'm ready to commit, let's say, $5 or $6 million for the next 5 years. So it is still a higher commitment for Amazon. They will be happy to do that early renewal. But as soon as you sign the new EDP contract, your existing EDP contract stands cancelled, and there is no shortfall obligation in that case, right? In some very, very rare scenarios, Amazon may also provide you an extension for 3 months to meet your commitment obligations, but that's very, very rare. How can partners help you enhance your EDP construct with Amazon? So first thing is, again, many partners actively would have worked on multiple EDP deals with Amazon team with different customers. So they can help you with some of the best practices. They can help you determine what are the appropriate commit values that you should look at and ensure that those commitments are actually aligned with your business goals. They just not work with your, they will ensure that they work with your engineering team to understand whether the setup is optimized. They will work with your finance team that how do they perceive those commitments? Is there a risk? And from the business team, that what is the business growth projection for the next few years, right? Then again, partners, as a partner, we do get some benefit from Amazon for any EDPs routed through us. So partner can extend a higher discount or might be okay to take a lower commitment from you, right? In many cases, partners will bring in many value-added benefits. It could be some additional recommendation on cost optimization. It could be custom reporting on a monthly basis. There are many organizations that only work based on the purchase order. They need the purchase order for processing the monthly invoices. So a partner can ensure that they are aligned with your internal compliance and financial processes. If we talked about the seller of record for Amazon, you cannot consolidate a EDP if your entities are billing through different Amazon sellers of record, but a partner can sign a single EDP contract and they can still raise invoice to you for different entities, right? Similarly, if you want a local currency invoicing, and if you're not in USD, if you also want to hedge the conversion rate throughout the EDP tenure, your partners should be able to help you achieve that, right? And there might be additional value-added benefits like professional services or access to a platform that those partners can bring in. Quickly talking about Cloudkeeper EDP Plus. So we work with Amazon and we have worked with 30 plus customers. We work with the customers to help them identify the appropriate commitment value. And then we basically are able to offer a higher discount in lieu of a lower commitment. So whatever commitment that Amazon requires, we are okay to take a 10% lower commitment from the customers. We understand that customers are anyways very conservative while doing those commitments. So most of our customers actually end up spending anywhere between 30 to 70% higher than what they have actually committed. So 10% lower commitment is not really a risk for us, but it helps customers make a better business use case internally to sign off on those commitments, right? We also help with reservation management, which basically means is that you can continue to run your infrastructure on demand while we take care of reservation commitments with Amazon and bill you at reserved-like pricing for your compute usage. There is also an option of partner-led enterprise support where partners act as your point of contact, and we will have a back-to-back enterprise support agreement with Amazon. Because Amazon allows us to consolidate multiple EDP customers under a single enterprise support contract, we can we benefit from the tiered pricing, and hence we can offer a lower price for partner-led enterprise support while we do offer the same SLAs as AWS direct enterprise support to the customers. In addition to that, there are two other levers. Cloudkeeper Lens is our cost analytics and governance platform. Customers get a continued access to the platform throughout the engagement. There are many insights like daily, weekly, monthly spend trend, breakup of different services, what is the cost of each S3 bucket, each CloudFront distribution, each snapshot provisioned in your account. And then you can configure notifications for any cost spikes, any reservation utilization going down, and you can integrate those notifications through emails or Slack channels. There is also a dedicated team that works with you and conducts well-architected reviews, provides you consulting guidance for adoption of new AWS services. We also track the anomaly at our end. So many cases, customers either would not have set up an alert for themselves, or in many cases, they have set up so many alerts that there are so many false positives. Our team ensures that they eliminate those false positives, and we reach out to your team only when it's an actual anomaly that needs some intervention. And then we can also help you establish FinOps KPIs and unit economies depending upon your business needs, whether you want to look at cost per order, cost per transaction, cost per 100,000 views on your website. We can help establish those metrics. There are 3 different levers how we help customers optimize their cost. One is price optimization that we do through EDP discount, private pricing contract, discounted price for partner-led support. Second is resource optimization. We help you identify underutilized, idle resources, eliminate waste, look at some architectural changes. Can you move to Spot? Can you adopt serverless architecture? And that helps you in reducing your consumption of AWS services and hence optimize cost. And last lever is to bring in that governance and accountability within the team to ensure that each team has a budget and they are responsible to maintain that budget and they have a real-time visibility if they are overshooting those budgets. This is just a very high-level visibility of what are the different support plans that Amazon offers. Business support is, again, not an option in AWS EDP program, but this is just listed here for a comparison purpose. As you would see in the partner-led enterprise support model, we primarily do not offer any training credits, but other than that, we offer the same SLAs as the direct enterprise support. However, we offer a discounted price and we also waive off the minimum $15,000 of monthly threshold that Amazon requires. This is just a model that end customer engages with AWS and then with the partner, and then it's the partner team that works directly to help resolve the query at hand, or we work internally with Amazon team to get a response to those queries. This is how we help. So FinOps Foundation defines 3 phases of cost optimization, which inform, optimize, and operate. We are working with customers to help optimize in all 3 different phases. These are some of our referenceable customers. All right, that's all that we have today. I hope it was useful for you today. I'm happy to take any questions that you may have.